who this week they're heading down 95 to Richmond to play the Spiders down there. Ellis, talk about last week. You had a bye week. 2 weeks ago, you played Villanova. It was a tough game up there in Philadelphia. So, what did you guys do last week to forget that game and get on to the rest of the season?
Yeah, last week at practice we worked very hard. Rob was definitely pushing us harder to get better. We definitely think we should have won the game at Villanova. Mm-hmm. So last week we conditioned better, we practiced harder, and got better as a team.
Cool. Just talk about the season so far. You guys had a home win against St. Francis. That was a comeback win, and then a couple of road losses were a little tough, except for the one down in South Florida. So talk about your play. What are you working on to improve on for this week against Richmond?
Yeah, I'm just trying to cut out red zone turnovers and turnovers in general. I had 3 last week, which helped us lose the game. Mm-hmm. And that's all I got for that. Can you repeat the question again?
What did you have to do for yourself to get better?
Yeah. I just gotta cut out the mental mistakes and just play harder for my team.
Yeah. Does it seem like every week folks play you guys? They always, because you have the great running back, Victor there, in the backfield. What is it like having him in the backfield, knowing that you can actually, if you have a bad day, you can just turn it over to him and he can actually make it a better game?
It's definitely a good thing to have him. Him and Shane both are great running backs. That when we're starting to pass the ball, we can just turn around and hand them the ball, and we know that we can do that. So it's definitely very comforting.
Is this your first year at Towson or your second year?
This is my 3rd year at Towson.
3rd year, okay. So you've been in the system, for 2 years, yeah. So just talk about. It seems like the first year, when you got there, Towson made it to the championship game, for the SBF, title game.
That was the year before I got here.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that year when you got, when you came in, they just got off of it. What does it seem like? It seems like Towson's been trying to get that win always. It seems like they're missing. You guys are missing one turnover, or you're doing one play at the end. Is this something that is just a mental thing for you guys to, forget about that and just try to win a ball game?
No, I think we're pretty much over that. That was 2 years ago, so definitely over that. It's just last year we were 7-4 and missed the playoffs by 1 spot. So we're definitely just trying to work to overcome that, but it's not in our hands at all. We're just trying to get there.
Yeah. Well, what do you see in Richmond's defense? I know you're the quarterback. What do you see on film this week?
They're definitely pretty good. They're an older group. They're returning 9 to 10 starters, but they're definitely vulnerable in some places along the defense. They line up and just play defense. So we definitely are scouting report this week, and we're just make plays to beat them.
So, all right, that's cool. Well, Ellis, thank you so much. I know you're a busy guy. You just got done with practice. I know you're probably pretty tired, and you want to go home and you relax and do your studies. So thanks for joining me this late afternoon. I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem.
All right, man.
Ep4 video.
Hey, Coach Danny, how you doing?
Doing great, thanks.
Talk about this game against Towson. You haven't played Towson in a very long time. So what can you do to get ready for a team that you haven't seen them in 2013?
Well, they, in our league, because of all the video and the crossover, this is a team that we have been watching for the last couple years as we're preparing for other teams. I think that as I look at their football team right now, I see a big physical athletic team. I think offensively they got really good size in the O-line. I think that O-line is as advertised. Darius Victor, it feels like he's been there for 7 or 8 years. I guess he hasn't been because I know you can't be there that long, but he's dynamic. And 13, Simpson is a great second card to play there with Victor. And they've got 2 wide receivers that are very talented and tall. The Summers kid, I think he's 25, and I think it's Dessenberg. He's 18. And then defensively, over the years, and then this year even more so as we prepare, they're very athletic, and they run to the ball, and they play fast, and they give a number of different looks. Their linebacking core is very productive. I think that, they are kind of what I thought they would be here as I have begun to study, more in depth as we head into the game week. But they've certainly been a team that we have been tracking here through the last year or so as they've come up on our opponent study.
Are they a dangerous 1 and 2 team overall?
What do you mean by that?
Like they've been playing. They played at a Division I school. They played South Florida. It was South Florida's hard, but they stayed in the game against them. Villanova, they were in the game until the fourth quarter. It just seems like they don't. They're missing something to not finish the game. It's just my observation the last couple games.
Well, I think they had a change at quarterback, and I think again I've seen a little more of 8 Knudsen than I had a 6. But I think that's always a factor too, though. When you are playing a second quarterback by injury or by design, the skill sets of the quarterbacks might not be identical. Of course, they're not identical. So we're trying to just assess, is there a definitive way they want to play with one quarterback versus a definitive way they want to play with another. Now, for the most part, it's going to be more similar than different. But that could be a factor, too, as they're continuing to, settle in on their roster here. But everything that I've seen on tape tells me that this team, as we've all thought heading into the year, is a team that's going to really make a difference here as we get into the CAA play, and they're going to be knee-deep in this thing at the end of the year, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I hope you have a good week of practice.
All right, thanks a lot.
Hey, I got Jordan here. Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
There you go.
All right.
Hello?
Hey, Jordan, how you doing?
Doing well. How you doing?
Doing great. Just talk about your. I know you guys are 1 and 2. I just talked to your quarterback. Just talk about practice today. What do you guys worked in practice and getting yourself ready for Richmond?
We just definitely worked on starting fast, starting physical, trying to run the ball. I think at this point we have 6 a lot of things internally, so I think we're out here just trying to be the best we can be out here every day. So we worked on just a little bit of hustling, running the ball, tackling, stuff like that. So trying to get better every day, really.
That's cool. Yeah, you're a transfer from UConn, and you went to your high school days. You played at Loyola Bakersfield, but you're from Bel Air. So how did you get to private school from Bel Air High School, from Bel Air, Maryland? How'd you do that?
Well, I commuted every day.
Oh wow!
My older brother, he was 3 years older than me. He went to Loyola. I went to Loyola in middle school as well.
Okay.
He started in 9th grade, I started in 5th grade. So I mean, it was a little hard. My parents had the necessary sacrifices to get us the best education possible. Mm-hmm. So we just commuted every day, trying to put education first. I think they living that now.
Yeah, playing Catholic school football, is it better than public school football, or no?
I mean,
what's your opinion on that?
I think without a doubt. I know people are going to say public school is better, but I think that we breed the best student athletes in Catholic schools, especially around this area. MIAA alone, I don't know, Catholic League, wherever you have Gilman, McDonough, Loyola, Carvajal, St. Paul, St. Francis, wherever. It's a bunch of great student athletes there, and we're taking the best students from the entire Baltimore metropolitan area. So I have to say that playing in Catholic school circuit is much better than playing in public school.
Well, talk about this weekend's game against Richmond. Talk about their offense. They're a pretty decent offense that scored a lot of points against Virginia, at the beginning of the year. They beat Virginia, and then they beat a couple good teams along the way. So what do you see? Because you're in the defensive side. So what do you see? What type of quarterback is that guy, Kyle?
I mean, that's definitely a high-powered offense. So he's a great gunslinger. I think he's averaging high amount of yards, going for high amount of yards every game. They have a pretty good receiver out there too. They have a pretty potent offense what we're coming to go see. But I think that we just have to prepare ourselves as best as we can. Attack the field fast, hard, and physical. I think that we'll put ourselves in a position to be victorious.
Yeah. And plus, it's tough to play on the road back-to-back weeks. Plus, you had a bye week, so you love to be home. You're home next week. That'd be good.
Right.
Yeah. So, talk about your play this year. What do you have to work on to get? Because you transferred from Division I program in UConn to Townsend. Now you're looking. What are you looking on in the future? Are you hoping to be in the NFL?
Oh yeah, ideally. That's all it was raining. That's why I think all of us played the game out here. I love it. Hopefully get that shot to play the NFL. But I think I have to work on just my technique. I have a lot of things to work on my game on. My technique. Trying to play as technically sound as possible in every single play. Not my eye discipline. Can't focus on my targets and my man. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. Just trying to just get better every day. Through practice or games or whatever it is, trying to get better every day. Keeping an aggressive mentality. It's easy to lose focus with school going on and. The season, kind of get into the grind of the season, but just trying to maintain that edge that everybody came into camp with every day, which is really that hunger to get better. So that's really what I like to work on.
Yeah, it's also a grind for you guys because you've been doing this since August, and now you have schoolwork, and you got to make sure you balance your schoolwork with your practice and all that stuff, so you don't get behind in your classes, and that's also tough for you too.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, Jordan, thank you so much. I know you just got done practice, and I know you don't want to talk to a lot of people after practice. I know that. You want to go.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Thank you. You're welcome. So good luck, and I'll see you hopefully throughout the season. Hopefully this weekend.
Sounds good.
All right.
FM Radio.
Hey, Coach Dave, how you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
How's everything going? Talk about playing against a Wake Forest. It's 4-0, and they are different this year than last year. What makes them different this year?
Well, like I just said, they're moving the ball on offense. Their run game offensively, they're averaging over 4 yards a carry. They're sustaining drives and scoring points. I think they've been good on defense for the last 3 years. They have better depth than they've had. Their quarterback play's been improved all year as well. Whether they were rotating the two guys or just playing Wolford, I think they've all played better, and you'd expect them to in the third year.
Yeah. And talk about what is your three keys for you guys to pull out a win on Saturday at home?
It starts with turnover margin for us. We have to do a great job creating takeaways on defense and protecting the football with our ball carriers. Playing as smart as we can from a penalty standpoint, not letting that be a factor in the game, and then just executing our game plan. I think that's something that when we don't beat ourselves and put ourselves in position to make plays, we've been really good. We got to be able to be consistent that way.
Well, good luck this week.
Thank you.
Team, it's Chris Seidel from Herb FM Radio in Baltimore. Talk about playing Duke on Saturday. Talk about their wide receivers because they have Anthony Nash is a very good wide receiver. They got Wilson and all that stuff. Just talk about your preparation against them.
Yeah, so watching Duke was they're a good team, so we our hands full with them. So we look forward to studying each day, watching the games, seeing what we can do to match up to them. They have they have great receivers and strong running back and a good quarterback. So our game plan is focused on us and how we execute and come out as a team.
And talk about getting there. You had 500 yards against Notre Dame. Is that something that you guys are going to try not to have against them?
Yeah, so we always come out to try to dominate. So, I mean, they're a good team. So both teams will make plays. If we execute, we plan to stop. So practice, we practice not to let the offense get across the line. So that's something we take high into consideration in each game we go to, stopping anything they have coming towards us. But they're a good team. We just fall to the level of our preparation. So we'll be ready.
How close are you?
Now with Herb FM Radio.
Hey, Bronco, how you doing? Hi. Talk about the three keys you guys have to do this week to beat a very good Duke team that's coming off a big win over Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I can break it down into a certain number of keys, but what I will say is when you're playing good football teams, that field position matters, turnovers matter, and points matter, and so making sure that we're on the positive end of those three things usually reflects well on you and your program, regardless of who you play and where you play, and so that's the way I would answer that.
Okay, Coach, thanks for taking time being with us
Great.
today, and we'll hear from you same time again.
I'm doing good. How are you? Talking about Minnesota's defense, because looking on their stats this morning, they're a pretty good defensive team right now, and they're 3-0. So what do you have to do on Saturday to get through the defensive line and for you to be open?
Yeah, I think that their defense is, the numbers kind of speak for itself. You know, they've done a pretty good job all season with their three opponents, and holding them to a certain amount of points and a certain amount of yardage and all that kind of stuff. They got a few big guys up front that will face a challenge for myself and our offensive line. And then I'm looking forward to the linebackers in the secondary into pass coverage and all that kind of stuff. You're not gonna play any opponent that's easy. So this is another test for us this week, and just looking forward to it.
Now you're just going to start conference play, and it's going to get tough. After losing to Michigan, and then you got Minnesota, and then you got Maryland next week. So it's going to be, what do you guys like to see in it? It's basically like a gauntlet, pretty much. You guys are going to go through now at the end of the season. So what do you want to do each week for your goals, for you each week, and for the team?
Individually, I just want to continue to execute my job, play in and play out, play mistake-free football, and do whatever I'm asked to do, play in and play out to help the team, achieve our goals. But as a team, we have one goal every week. Doesn't matter how we do it. Doesn't matter what happens. As long as we win that football game, that's really all that matters. And we'll go to correct the mistakes the day after. But that's pretty much our goal. Come out on Saturday and get a win to kind of get us back on the right track.
I hope you have a good week of practice. Hey, Coach Fisher, how you doing?
All right, how are you?
Doing great. I want to talk about the offensive line. Last week with Davin Cook rushing for 287 yards, I think I saw a difference between the offensive line in that game and the three games previously. It looked like the offensive line wasn't giving Davin Cook any holes for him to explode. It looked like they were not getting his timing right. Was that something that you guys worked on?
Yeah, it was. We're trying to always timing it back to the passing game, but the running game too. The holes, the timing, when you hit it, how you follow your blocks, the way they're set up. That whole thing, and you got to create space, and that allows Dalvin to run. And then when he gets that, we definitely know he's a very good player. So, we're continually growing in that area.
And how's his shoulder? Pretty good? Does he get
better? Oh yeah, his shoulder's fine. His shoulder's been fine the whole time. It's been good.
Cool. Well, good luck this week.
Thank you.
Herb FM Radio.
Hey, Coach Kelly, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Question for you. I was reading an article yesterday. It said your defense is going back to basic. Explain to me what that means. Because I was trying to read the article. I think it was one of the online media articles. Can you explain that to us?
Well, I think every coach talks about fundamentals when they talk about basics, and we've got to do some of the simple things better, and that is tackling, fundamentals. We've got a lot of young players playing on defense, and the attention to detail, all of those fundamentals have to be drilled and have to be executed at a higher level. So that's coaching. That's what we do. And so when we talk about basic defense, we talk about the basic core and fundamentals of defense.
And talk about your preparation for Syracuse. How's practice? I know you said you had good practice yesterday. Are the players focused in on saying we're not going to have the worst season ever? We're going to get better as of now?
Yeah, look, they're competitive kids. They come to Notre Dame expecting to win, and they're 1-3, and they're not happy about it. So the great part about it is they get a chance to do something about it, and they'll get that chance on Saturday. But you got to prepare. You're playing a good team, and we'll control what we can control. And again, from my perspective, I think we're going to put our kids in a position to compete, and they're going to have to go out there and make plays.
Now with Herb FM Radio.
Hey, Coach Mark, how you doing?
All right, how are you?
Doing good. How was your bye week? What you guys learn during the bye week to get you ready for this game against Georgia?
Well, part of it is just to give these guys a little bit of break physically, mentally, and if there's a guy that's just got a nagging injury that, maybe he would have played last week and not missed a practice and kind of fought through it. Sometimes we'll monitor the amount of reps or just pull the guy out for a day and let him heal. Because you got one shot a year to do it, and this was it. So after this, we got 8 in a row, 9 in a row, and 8 of them are conference games, and so we're not going to have that luxury anymore. But so you do that, and then you start to scheme them. But you scheme them at a pace that is not as fast and rapid as it has to be when you only have 1 week to do it. So we're able to take a little bit more time, be a little bit more deliberate. Sometimes that's good. And sometimes it's not good if you have too many good ideas that you just don't have enough time to practice them all.
Is it good to play? You played this team last year when you were in Georgia. Is it always good to play against somebody you know instead of playing against a team that you have no idea, like Appalachian State or anybody on your schedule this year, like you have never met before?
Well, I'll say this. If I was a defensive coordinator type guy coming up, and if I knew everything that you needed to know about that offense that we're about to face, I think it'd be an advantage. But right now, I don't have that expertise. I know in generalities, but not in specifics. So that's why I got to really rely on Coach Diaz and his ability to, with his staff, put together a plan that will help us defend those guys.
Well, I hope you can pull out a victory in Atlanta this weekend.
Well, thank you.